The Ukulele Reviews Podcast.
Welcome back to the Ukulele Review.
Switch back.
Got my daughter Amelie working cameras, Corey Fujimoto
Yeehaw!
on a Grimes, and Mika Kane on a Colo. And this episode we're going to dedicate to the Hawaiian builders.
Yeah.
This is going to be a mixed plate with, 6 different Hawaiian makers?
Mm-hmm.
How do you guys want to kick this off?
We're gonna jam a classic.
Try to.
Oh, let me turn off the air
I'll
conditioner.
try not to ruin it.
Me and Corey have banded together, and people call us
The illegals.
the illegals. We do a lot of unconventional things.
Not because we are that kind of
Criminals.
You know,
We're clean
You break the musical rules. Break the law.
within reason.
now we can't play Henny Kawaka, the bluegrass version. Anyways, okay. I told you I was gonna ruin it somehow. See, I was supposed to play that lick and then, yeah. I didn't.
Sounded good.
And that's a take one.
Yes. Only take ones
Only
tonight.
take one. So shall we start off with?
Why don't you guys talk about those instruments for a sec?
So, technically, I mean, Colo, you know, they make a variety of tenors, and you can get them in 3 different levels, I guess. The deluxe or the T100. This is the base model. There's another one.
Well, no, because I mean everything from Colo is kind of in the customy range because it's built by Noah Bonk. So, but yeah, that one is a Beautiful.
There's another one that's going to be coming out, right?
Uh-huh.
Below the
We have,
T100.
we have
CS
another one
coming.
similar like that. That's about done, and then I don't know what's coming up after that. Probably some fancy stuff. What do you think, Mika? I mean, bass, but it's still really expensive.
I remember I was telling you some of my personal feelings about how I feel about this, but I probably won't say it. Otherwise, I might create might go against conflict of interest. But I love this one. I think this retails for $27, so it goes for about the same price as a Kamaka Deluxe. But yeah, this is great. I mean, beautiful koa all around.
Yeah, I like that.
The koa rosette.
It's kind of a bright looking instrument, bright sounding instrument.
It just feels really good when you play it. Low action, it feels good. It's easy to play.
The neck
It's
is not
loud.
too narrow, right?
Yeah, and it's a flat fretboard. It's not a radius. But
What do you think of that radius versus flat fretboard, Mika?
it's one of those things where I go back and forth. I've always been playing flat my whole ukulele playing career, but I remember when I first played a radius on a Colo, I didn't even know it was a radius until Corey said, "Oh, it's a radius," and then I looked at it, and then I could start feeling the difference. So
It's subtle like that.
it's very
right?
subtle. Sometimes I like the radius, sometimes I don't. It's just one of those, you pick it up, oh yeah, it feels good, and then some days I pick up the flat, and then I'll like that too. So
Yeah.
it's real.
Abe was telling me one time he preferred non-radius because of the way he strummed. Like
The way your
it's
finger
like,
hits it, right?
Yeah, like his fingers would hit the middle strings more than the outer strings because of that kind of like fan strumming deal.
That's why that's one thing I didn't like about having a radius fretboard was the unevenness in strumming. Like you have to redevelop the way you strum so that
Like it's comfortable for the left hand, but maybe the right hand has to adjust
doing
techniques,
finger
right?
picking and stuff. Classical music is perfect for
Yeah.
just finger picking. But when you do strumming, it's like you have to. Well, depending on how
I
it's
think
set
most
up too.
people still it wouldn't like register any
Yeah.
different. but-
Depends if you strum over here versus over the sound hole.
Yeah.
I always strum pretty much right by the 15th fret, so I might feel it.
Talk a little bit about the differences in where you strum or where you pick.
Yeah, so in my playing style, I normally like to play around the 15th fret when I strum or pick. It just feels the most comfortable. But in ukulele playing, there's actually 3 different regions that you can play in the ukulele. We have the 12th fret, which is known as the sweet spot of the ukulele. And the reason why I call it the sweet spot is because if you take the cutoff points from the nut and the cutoff point from the bridge, like this, if you go right in the middle, it's where the 12th fret is. So that's more or less the sweetest, most natural sound of the ukulele. I think of it like a trampoline. When you want to jump in a trampoline, you don't jump on the sides. You get the most bounce jumping in the middle. So the ukulele, the tension of the strings is the most flexible at the 12th fret. So you get the most natural, sweetest, warmest sound from the ukulele. And then if you want to get more of a brighter, louder sound, you'll move towards the sound hole, where you can play right here. And
gives
if
you
you
a
want
little
to
bit more
get
of a fatter sound.
it's just different. Like
The
you're not
fattest
gonna-
you were saying was like right there in the middle.
I would
or-
say the biggest sound comes here, but the brashest, kind of real heavy. If you want the biggest sound, I would go over the sound hole. If you want the sweetest sound, I would go over the 12th fret. And then if you really want that very gritty nail
Or
twang,
sometimes in
twang.
the Asian style pieces you play, you go
Yeah.
back
Yeah,
there.
do that. The jasmine flower.
Jasmine Flower, yeah, so that's a good song to kind of represent the different sounds you can get from playing in the different regions. So So there's a good, sound comparison from playing in each of the regions. So a lot of my playing style comes from mostly playing around like the 15th fret or the sound hole. But when I get really into it and I plan out my arrangements, you'll see me playing all over. Like I'm moving my hand all over the place. So,
awesome. That's a great
little ukulele lesson.
Yeah. Little 2-minute
Do a
tip.
little experiment in finding the best position of finger picking. I tend to I find myself picking over here.
Yeah.
I don't play with nails, so it's not as twangy.
So like another sound comparison to maybe a song that you guys might be more familiar with is like White Sandy Beach. So if I were to play White Sandy Beach here at the 12th fret, this is kind of what it would sound like. So very warm, very subtle. If I want a bigger sound and maybe more bright and not so warm, then I'll go right over the sound hole. So and then very rarely I'll play here unless the song really calls for it. But just so you guys can hear the sound comparison, if I were to play right by the bridge. So for the most part, I won't ever really play. I won't really ever play in one position the whole time, especially if I plan out an arrangement. So it's good that I mix up the different regions, playing the different regions to get a different feel / a different sound. So if I were to play White Sandy Beach, kind of mixing it all up to where I think it would sound really good. This is kind of how I would approach it. So. So it's good to kind of know that you have these 3 different sounds, and then you can go.
Huge differences.
Yeah, there's a really big difference playing here, here, and here. So knowing that you can get different sounds and
What about, I think we went over this.
timbre.
How do you shape your nails? People who play with nails, I feel they just grow their nails out and just play with it. And there's like a gritty sound that I can hear from it. Whereas like when I listen to you play, everything is just smooth.
Manicure.
Yeah, so I kind of always took care of my nails, even from high school. I knew it made a big difference. I kind of figured that out on my own. It wasn't until I took classical guitar at UH Manoa where there's a whole classical guitar like technique book, and the first 6 pages is just how to shape your nails, how to file your nails. Like exactly has pictures, and we have to copy it.
Funny
so.
how you almost had a Vietnamese accent right there. How to file your nail. File nail.
They own half the nails.
But for me personally, a classical guitarist would frown upon it, but it works for me where I just really cut my nails in a circular. I round out my nails, and then I just get a nail filer with 4 different buffs, or sometimes they have 7 or 8.
Super smooth.
Yeah, and I just file it every 2 days. It's kind of like how, we brush our teeth every day. It's just one of those routine things that I file my nails every 2 days. Just when I pick up the ukulele and I play it and it sounds gritty, I have to grab my nail filer and I just always make sure it sounds really.
It's consistency.
Very
too,
consistent.
Right? So your thumbnail, when you pick the rest of your nails, you want it to be the same volume, the same type of tone, right?
Yeah. So when I gave a workshop, I talked about the importance of nails, and I said like, you know your nails are filed correctly, or it's sanded correctly when you can pluck with your middle finger and your pointer finger. But if you hide it. You can't tell which one is which.
Yeah.
Or I'm only using my middle finger. So that's how you know you can kind of close your eyes and do you hear a difference in sound.
Consistency.
That is awesome.
Lesson number 2.
It's all these little elements that are the sound, right?
All the
Beyond
very
the
technical-
instrument, where you play it, how you play it,
Where you play it, how your nails
This is
are.
all feel, right?
Yeah.
Well, not all of it.
These
After
are-
that, it's feel maybe.
Yeah.
But
These are all
Yeah.
things that I'm thinking of before I even come up and play. Like you can play the song, but there's so many things I'm thinking
Does it-
before I even.
Does
go
it
ahead
actually
into playing.
bother you when you, like, if it's just a little off?
Yeah.
Like, let's say, yeah.
Oh, my nails? Yeah, I go file it. I always have a nail filer right where I play it. So, and I carry 2 in my gig bag or my, yeah. So it's
Really high
important for me.
maintenance.
High maintenance. Yeah.
what do
Well,
you do, Corey?
I get frustrated and I cut my nails off, and I just play with
No, but do you like to have nails?
I
when you
do.
play?
I've always enjoyed the sound of the nails, but it's just when I switch back to guitar, I don't like the sound of when you play guitar with nails. It's too bright for me. So I go back to I cut my fingernails off and I play. You know, that's how I play the guitar. It's more of a natural, warm sound that I like. Like with ukulele, when I play, it's a different kind of string. With guitar strings, you can kind of grip the strings more. So like when you pluck, you get it overall fuller and responsive sound. Whereas like on ukulele, depending on the strings too, this isn't too bad.
Do you
I think
use
these
a
are-
little more flesh when you're playing ukulele or
I
do you pluck it harder or?
like I wait till my nails grow out a little bit more. Like yours is like what, like 2 millimeters? You say 2 or 3?
It's a good amount of white.
Like I started
Like-
growing my thumbnail out, and I like it. I do the otasan technique where it's just
Yeah.
All thumb. Talk about that instrument.
I thought this sold. This is a custom Grimes. African.
It didn't yet. It's it's
African rose.
uber expensive, so I mean maybe that's held some people back because the tone is amazing. Brazilian might be
Yeah.
illegal to say that, but no.
We'll just go with
I think it's
rosewood.
I think all Steve's Brazilian stuff is legal, which is why it's
He has the
so
paperwork and
expensive. But yeah.
And I mean,
That's the kind of the classic spruce Brazilian is
Mm-hmm.
like what classical guitars, that's the Segovias and all that.
Yeah.
and it carries over, right? Tone. Brazilian rosewood sounds. Well, I mean,
It's,
also how
I
you
mean,
build it too. But I
yeah,
mean, Steve.
yeah, Steve's stuff is awesome.
Yeah.
But you take the most primo woods and you give it to the best luthier, and I mean, you just try to, be rich enough to afford it.
That ukulele feels so good, so easy to play, low action, low tension.
I like
It's
the
my
overall
kind of
look of it
ukulele.
too,
Even like the
because it's
scallop nut is really nice,
yeah.
and
Um,
that burled headstock. Show the faceplate on that.
It's not too over the top. Like it's
It looks classy.
fancy enough.
Yeah.
I think
There's, like,
Jake
no-
secretly plays Grimes.
Yeah, he does. Right?
He's a
He has
Kamaka
one.
boy, but I mean,
But he yeah,
yeah.
right?
Kamaka boy, but
yeah.
Noah, if you're watching
Mika
this,
too.
Kamakalau.
Colo.
Kamaka. All good choices. Does that one have a radius or no? No,
It
it's
does,
not.
yeah.
Oh, it does.
Something it's not as small as the Colo type radius. This one's a little bit it's like right in between a Colo and a Pono Pro Classic radius.
Oh, maybe
Or like a
10.
10.
Grimes' neck is pretty comfortable. I've talked about that before, but I think that's
More
part
on the
of
thinner
why I love
side.
him so much. But
It is,
Yeah.
but it allows
but it's
you
got
to,
that soft V to it a little bit.
yeah, allows you to navigate without.
Hey, what's your guys' thoughts on the 1 3/8 versus 1.5 inch nut width? Does it when you pick up a Kanilea versus a Colo, does that factor in? Because I know some people shopping are deciding on those things. For me, it doesn't really I don't know. It doesn't matter much, but you guys are
What is
more
that?
players. The nut width. You know
So
how,
like the
yeah,
wider?
Kanilea's
You
like
worked there how
slightly
long
wider.
and you don't know?
3 months.
Yeah. So Kanilea has a slightly wider nut, and you've sampled tons of them. So I guess you didn't notice.
I did. I just
Oh.
didn't know that's
Yeah,
what
so
it
the
was.
string
Oh,
spacing
I see. Yeah.
is
Yeah.
wider. The
I don't
nut
like that.
is. Oh, you don't like.
I don't like it when it's too far apart.
Like, does Kanilea feel comfortable for you?
It's a little wide.
A little
for
bit?
me. Yeah,
The
especially when
neck
I
is
play
wide,
like
but
this. When I play the super tenors,
The
there's
string
even more
spacing is the
string
same
spacing.
as a Kamaka.
It is it? Oh, it is.
I think I remember sticking it together, and I was like, "Wait, the nut width is narrow on a Kamaka, but the string spacing is the same."
You know, for guitar players, I think it's like if you're comfortable with the like the 1 3/4 spacing, like a Taylor spacing, would be like the Kanilea, whereas like the Martin 1 11/16, I think, maybe it
Was it more of a narrow-
7/16? Oh no,
it's a
No,
narrow
11
neck, but
16ths.
the string spacing's the same. Is that?
it's just more in line, like a Colo or a Kamaka or that Grimes is gonna be more in line with what the Martin spacing would be on the high 4. I don't know if
I
I'm
like
making
whatever
sense or not.
Kamaka in. This Colo spacing feels exactly like a Kamaka. The neck
Right,
feels
yeah.
the same.
But then, it's the same nut width too.
yeah, it feels very similar to a Kamaka.
But then it's the same string spacing as Kanilea. Pull out the Kanilea, put it together like this, and look at the string spacing. I remember looking at it at the shop, or just doing that at the shop, doing a comparison. The neck on a Kanilea is wider, so like the edges from the bottom of the string to the edge of the fretboard, there's more on a Kanilea.
So it's like this. Yeah, I like it when it's I like this one
Like,
better.
I like Kanileas for like when you do pull-offs and stuff, you still have fretboard to where it doesn't.
Oh yeah. I think Kanilea's neck's a little too big for me. It looks so it is wider, right? A little bit. The
It
width.
is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm more used to this, the Kamaka or the Colo feel.
Speaking of, we're gonna feature one of each of these guys, and Kanilea is like always known for their amazing koa. You know, this is like the regular grade islands. This isn't even like an upgrade, but it's still really nice.
You still got
Yeah.
all the colors. You got the orange. You got the regular koa. You got the dark lines.
You get the spectrum.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So
Should we do some solo pieces, or you guys want to keep playing together? It's different stuff.
maybe we can do that at the end.
What if we do the
You want to do that?
Yeah, but let's put a different beat in your hands too, so just to keep it moving.
Can I play the Colo, huh?
Yeah. Why don't you talk about some of the stuff that we've kind of had for a while, and we're just getting to listing.
Oh yeah. So we've been really backed up with listing instruments. There's a lot coming in. We were able to pick up a bunch before most of the manufacturers had shut down. This is one of them. What about the?
So there's a number that are factory special, right? Which
Yeah.
I mean, I looked over them. They look good. I don't know.
I mean, it might be like
You could probably find something, but like it's so minor and cosmetic, and you get an extra discount. I mean, they're basically like, and you still get the better than weather, like lifetime
so
warranty
yeah.
and all.
If anything
so.
happens to it, you can get it fixed or replaced.
Hey, why don't
like
you guys
Colo?
talk about your Reverb store?
Oh yeah, so been getting a lot of questions about the Reverb store. We are the ukulele station. We at first we didn't want to use a different name, but we had to differentiate between the main website and our
Right.
not bargain. What's the?
Yeah, it's kind of like that, you know. I mean, it's like stuff that we're moving that was store stock, or sometimes like perfectly great instruments get returned, or
Yep.
you know,
And then
sometimes there's like minor little cosmetic things.
And it's like you'll get a deal. The whole idea behind our Reverb station is to give like a really good deal on older instruments that are in really good condition.
Older,
And-
sometimes new. I mean, you never know what's going to go up there, but
we've gone
It's
through
like
a
since our
numbers that are-
stores closed, it's like Mika and Corey basically set that up, and it's a really cool thing you guys got going, because you've been sampling almost every instrument that you get up there. I mean, they've been like recording like 8 instruments a day a lot of times,
Yeah.
trying to do that every day of
Just-
the week.
yeah.
It's like,
Sometimes it sells before we even get the sounds.
yeah,
out.
yeah.
Yeah. Some people are like, "Hey, I was waiting for this. You know, I missed it the first time around." And they're like, hey, "I saw it pop up on your Reverb site. I just had to buy it." And they're like, "It was at a cheaper price too."
Yeah.
So
So the bottleneck with our business is our setup department, and our setup guys have such extensive experience, and I think they've gotten they take a very long time with each instrument, just making sure it's absolutely perfect. And one of the key differences with the Reverb is that doesn't automatically come through them, but Mika and Corey are making sure that they play and sound good. I know sometimes you guys do things like lower action and
lower the nut slots at least, or
buff something out a little bit and make sure it's nice and good. And
We do some type of quality
yeah,
control.
QC.
before-
We're not
yeah.
gonna send you a piece of trash.
No,
It's
I mean,
gonna be a good instrument. I mean, a lot
we
of them.
still put our name behind it, and you know,
Yeah.
I mean, we still accept returns if you guys don't like it.
And I remember going through a bunch of them. A lot of instruments were ones that were sent and they changed their mind on it, and they're like, they box it back up and they send it back. So I was like, it was never really
just set on the
played.
side for a long time. I know there's
Yeah.
been a lot of stuff that just ends
So-
up in the corner.
And we give, I don't know, like 10% off.
10, 20,
Already set
yeah.
up. You know, you got the full, they come with strap buttons too. So it's like,
We include the case, which is usually charged separately, and the humidifier. So
Yeah.
pick a lot of
Sometimes it
goodies.
just sat in the store for a little while, and then, get an extra deal. But
So please keep checking out Reverb. We're posting almost.
the ukulele station,
We're
Yeah,
posting almost
and-
daily.
or is
So-
it
If
just
you're-
ukulele station?
ukulele station. Yeah.
Okay.
If you're looking for a specific model, we haven't gone through the entire inventory. I mean, we have just to do an inventory, but
I haven't
to see
listed
which
it.
one, like to play it and see which ones are good to,
Mhm.
sell and stuff. We didn't go through all of them yet. So if there's a specific one you're looking for, just send us a message. And
You know
we'll-
what's crazy? Like this entire room is like lined with bee stock,
yeah.
like that people would maybe never know. It's like you
So-
could just like have these in the store and people would never know there was anything wrong. But we're pretty critical about all the little things. So
I remember your
it's
dad
not
was like,
perfect.
"Yeah, you don't see this." I'm like, "What?" It's like, "Yeah, this just I
Sometimes
can't,
players
so-
and builders come at it at a different place, because
It's
builders
like, I
are
don't
like,
see anything. Like,
it's-
do I
You don't-
cross my eyes and like?
You don't hear it?
it sounds good. So
But yeah,
Yeah, so we have
got-
about 70 ukes right now.
and there's some
posted.
silvers we haven't listed too, right?
Yeah, we're getting those up pretty soon.
We actually snagged them from. I mean, their production stopped, so we're kind of putting tuners on some that we had when they stopped. We're like, oh.
Yeah,
They almost had an order done for us, and
Yeah.
then everybody had to go home. So we're just kind
and
of getting them ready.
We've
But
been bothering them for weeks, and they're like, "Yeah, we don't, I don't have anybody to put the."
I love the
things on, so-
Okami and that whole Ohana though. They're great.
We had a good conversation with Alan the other day.
He's a crack up.
I love hanging out with them, but if you get into something, you just keep going. You keep going. You're like, "Oh, I've been here for 3 hours."
Paul came up to me. He put me on the side. He's like, "Hey, I know you're a great player, but," he gives you this metal rod. "I bet you can't make this song." So I grab it. I go on the floor and I tap it. He starts laughing and he walks away.
I want to have him back on.
Yeah, if we can have both of them on. the
Oh
brothers.
yeah, that would be awesome.
We gotta
Get them
Pops
arguing
too,
with each
might as
other.
well.
Oh,
Yeah.
Pops is the one that takes. I mean, like if I get with Pops, it's over.
Yeah.
Afternoon
3 hour
pow.
podcast.
There's times where I would pick Mickey up from work, and then Pops comes in. "Oh, Corey, I gotta show you something." And then Mickey's like, "Okay, I'll just wait in the car." Wait in the car for like an hour.
I hope they can get back to work soon.
Yeah. We need more ukulele love for the manufacturers.
Yeah. And as far as a shout out to the musicians that are kind of displaced, maybe economically. Maybe right now they're kind of okay, but hopefully they can get back to work soon and stuff. But
I've seen a lot of stuff pop up on Facebook where they're doing their own live, and
yeah,
it's really good stuff.
I know Brian Tolentino is a good one to follow,
Yeah.
and they've been doing Zoom meetings that are really fun. Brittany Paiva has a new, like she's been putting up tabs that you can buy. So, try to support her.
Check it out. Europa tabs. Posted
just
today.
Posted it today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jake's doing Facebook Live every Friday. I think once a
What
week.
a treat! Yeah, I don't.
And you can donate, if right from the
PayPal,
live feed
Venmo,
and stuff.
tip jar, virtual tip
Yeah,
jar.
I mean, you don't want to see these incredibly talented guys having to like look for work elsewhere. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like no.
Is
But if you need a job, we might be hiring.
yeah, we're like it'll be like the Amazon.
Oh, don't say that.
Yeah. Jokingly.
Okay. Let's play something real fast on this. There we go.
Island style on
Brother John Cruz.
Hawaiian Islands, Kanilea.
There we go.
antenna.
Oh yeah, makes sense.
All right.
I thought you just randomly picked a song, and I just realized yes.
Yeah, I actually.
Hello, good morning.
I think it's ready.
Okay, so, I'm surprised this one didn't sell yet. This is really nice.
Wow, this guy.
What?
Let me get this on the
Ooh.
main mics here.
Oh, okay.
Because that one we haven't listed
Oh yeah.
yet. And it's
Oh okay. Let's go for it. Let me do that again then for this one, and then we can probably play another duet. We can end on these two.
Thank you. We can play Kavika in major.
Okay, ready?
This instrument first.
Huh?
Talk about this guy.
Oh, I mean,
Charlie Fukuda.
Brother Fukuba, Mr. Charlie. Got to meet him a few days ago. Was it earlier this week you brought this in?
It was right. Monday.
Was it Monday?
I don't
Yeah, I
even
got to
know.
meet him, and
Today's Friday.
what a pleasure, because I really love his instruments, and I really like his signature 3-hole instrument. So just is going for the more traditional look with the sound hole. So beautiful curly coil all around.
Got the Miley. Oh yeah, Bubinga center
Oh
strip.
geez, very consistent, and just gotta admire the size. It's just crazy.
Flame maple binding.
Yeah.
Oh, show that flexi.
Oh, that color.
Nice.
And then beautiful, yeah, flame maple. So it really accents the more curls, the curly coil. Pretty sure we got ebony bridge, ebony fretboard.
Get a close up on that rosette.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
beautiful. And then we got abalone fret markers. And then his signature Eevee bird. Very beautiful.
And Corey.
Got this beautiful deluxe HF 2D, and this too has beautiful curly coal wood top, back, and sides with rosewood binding on top, ebony bridge fretboard, super curly koa faceplate, and the you can only get these at Kamaka.
Okay.
These are these buttons are specifically made for the Kamaka ukuleles, and they're Goto UPT tuners, but these buttons are Kamaka. Yeah, they are.
I like that.
It's kind of like the pearl kind of look to it too, kind of milky.
It's like an updated version of what they used to have on their concert.
Closer compared to to their traditional one compared to what the UPTs are.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a really good upgrade if you guys have older Kamakas or anything with friction tuners. You can these are a very good.
Yeah, we sell the replacement one.
We just got them in stock too, so
Oh, did we get it?
yeah, got a huge order. So, and I remember every time I play a concert, I remember the concert that my auntie had that she'd let us borrow, and same kind of sound, same feel, just a newer version of it, which is awesome. But they updated their, I don't know if it was a bracing or something, but it's a little more resonant than usual. It's more punchy and louder, but still the same old Kamaka.
I like the new
sound.
neck a little bit more. It's a little flat back.
Yeah.
Do you like the black outline of the KK, or do you like it when it's just the white abalone?
Depends.
I like the outline.
Oh yeah,
I like-
you do.
I
I,
like
have
it.
mixed feel. I like the all white, but I don't know because I feel like the black takes away from the overall abalone.
of it?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's pretty. It kind of like frames it off nice. It's like
Yeah. It
Maybe I'm
like
just
for me,
very
if the
used to
lines are a
that.
little bit thinner,
Maybe,
if it was a
yeah.
thinner black line.
Show it for the camera.
So it's a little thick, but it looks nice.
Yeah, I think I'm just used to the all abalone. My custom is all white, so
From a builder
used to that.
standpoint, it takes longer. So it's like
to add the
Yeah.
lines.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I like it just all white, but
interesting.
It's all white.
it's all white.
This is like the sleeper koa. And if it's not in light, it looks, it's a nice piece of koa, but when you look at it in light, there's
Oh yeah, when you have the right kind of lighting, or if you take it out in the sun, it's just
Subtle.
that one is just flaming.
what is this in the
This guy's
middle?
like that's Bubinga.
Bubinga, I've never heard of that.
It's
So-
a South American exotic hardwood, and looks pretty cool too.
I feel like every time you see that word, you have to say it like Bubinga.
Bubinga.
I appreciate the
word. Yeah.
It's like we got koa, rosewood,
Kokoboros,
Bubinga.
Hey, Kokoboro.
appreciate the flat neck too on the EV. It feels good. I don't know if I prefer flat neck or rounded neck. I'm used to my Kamaka that's been rounded, but
That's a good thing.
I appreciate the flat neck too.
We get to play them all.
Yeah,
It's
His concert is a great.
very fortunate, very lucky.
volume.
this is. I mean,
It changed since we got it. Yeah.
awesome sustain. Yeah, it's really opened up. So I want to play a song that I think will highlight this ukulele beautifully. This is my arrangement of Kawai Punahele. So I don't know, when I play this ukulele, it's very articulate and it's very solid. So I think that will highlight this ukulele really well. So. beautiful.
I was trying to
Beautiful
add stuff.
Awesome. Two awesome Hawaiian concerts.
Curly Koa, my favorite.
What's that wood on the back? What's the wood on the back? The strip.
Bunka. Or buka.
Buka de Beppo.
Oh,
Buka.
cheesy noodles.
My favorite.
Bubinga.
Bubinga.
You wanna try to play this chord? You wanna do a song up on this?
I think you did it.
Yeah, why don't you get in there and do it? Let me get a solo on that one because
You didn't post
I
this
think
one
I
yet, no?
accidentally deleted the video we recorded with it
Oh,
the other day.
okay. Well, you didn't list this either, so.
I didn't list it.
Corey
Yeah,
will play
I
it.
He's like, "Oh,
pictured
this
it though.
sucks." Delete.
noodled
I drooled over it while I photoed it.
It's really good sustain.
I will say, as much as I love using nails, I always love hearing you play without nails because you get a different timbre and different. No, like your pointer and your middle finger.
Yeah.
There's no nail, so I like the sound that you get from playing with your flush.
Certain ukuleles I find.
Because sometimes if you play with your nails only, you only get that one nail-like sound, no matter how smooth your nails are.
But then that was another thing that you do because like if you do the same thing with picks, like when you flat pick compared to when you angle your.
Yeah, that's how you attack it too. But still, whatever sound you get from your flesh, you can't replicate it. Or it's very
True.
hard to get it with your nail.
What is that pick you're playing with now?
It's a
People wanna
Dunlop
get it.
jazz pick. So I don't.
Is it like the Jazz 3 or the
I think
It
it's
just
a
says jazz?
204 on it, USA.
204?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And it's the teardrop shape. They make one that's pointed. That it's good. It's good if you want like a brighter sound. This one gives you a natural nail type. You get that nail like tone without it being too ticky sounding.
I feel like
Sounds
that
good.
instrument is really articulate, so it actually sounds best with a little bit of more of that flesh,
Exactly.
right?
It balances out the brightness.
That has its own quality too, though, It's interesting too what works solo versus in a band situation where you want to cut through.
Yeah.
I had somebody tell me they're like, you use a pick. And I was like, why not? Other instruments, people use picks for. So why not an ukulele? And they're like, you're supposed to use your fingers.
What are you guys
Like-
called? The illegals?
Yeah,
We're called the illegals.
But it's like I see people play like with their thumb up here. They're like, you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to hide your thumb. Like, can you show me this book that you're reading?
Supposed to make music.
Guys like Tommy.
Yeah, it's like I mean, I do this a lot. My thumb
Yeah.
up here. There's nothing wrong with that. If it works, then
Classical
do
guitarist
it,
would frown.
I would do that during your
You
recital.
gotta have your thumb right in the middle.
I guess it probably stems from there, right?
What?
The technique of.
The technique is, like that.
I mean, I understand it.
You did
but
on a recital. Everyone stand up and walk up.
you would be like, "You suck."
Boo!
What is this acceptable at all?
Inappropriate.
That's why I break it all the time. Whatever.
Just glue my thumb back here. Never have to move it.
All right. We love you guys. We'll see you next time. You guys want to give us a little outro music?
Yeah.
Let's do it.